from what I've experienced, it's very, very good, to be honest. It's a great tool to have, and it has amazing potential for those young men that might not maybe be so academically inclined and might have certain specialist interests, which is sometimes a trait of autism. Maybe to be especially interested in art or science would maybe have a good GCSE score in that area, but perhaps not such good scores in other areas. This would be amazing for them because it would enable them to showcase their personality and their creativity in other ways. So employers maybe employing for an art position would see the art GCSE and initially, without this opportunity, might just see the other GCSEs and think high score in art, lower score elsewhere, maybe not so good over the board, might not want to employ them. But with this resource available, it would enable the students to show their talents and their creativity within other areas, maybe not so specific to stereotypical GCSEs. And it would really give employers the chance to see what they could potentially get out of employing someone on the SEN spectrum. It'd be a really good tool. So I went on there myself and I did the selecting the images feature. And to be honest, it was surprisingly accurate because I wasn't expecting to be able for it to be so accurate just from choosing images, but it really was. It had a lot of things down about me. It had the fact that I'm creative. I'm into my creative writing and my English and stuff like that. It managed to get down that I'm charismatic, which I don't know if I'd agree with that in the sense of promoting myself, but I do enjoy talking to people, and I do enjoy social situations. So I think it's really accurate and very helpful. And that obviously that feature of being able to have that little snapshot into a person's personality is again vitally important because in a traditional interview situation, some people with autism would experience anxiety. Personally, social situations don't make me too anxious, but other situations can give me anxiety. So for someone that would struggle with a traditional interview, it's invaluable, honestly, to have that option to get to know your potential person you would employ without having that traditional interview right off the bat would mean that if you were to have one, or even without one, you would know them almost to a degree before you got to meet them and have them on the job. So I thought that feature was very helpful. Um, there was a lot of the selecting the hobbies thing is also really important because for jobs that are very specific. So, for example, you could work in the science field, but if you were to be more specific, and within that science field you were to work in testing or something like that, there would be certain hobbies that would obviously link into that specific area of that field. So knowing what hobbies people have can also be very helpful. For example, one of my hobbies is I play card games. So if I were to go into a job where maybe planning or tactical thinking was needed, that could be a thing an employer would pick up on and they would maybe think, whereas otherwise they wouldn't know that about me. That would just be a bit of information that wouldn't even really come up. So again, just it gives employers, rather than giving them what the person has done in context of achievements, it gives them what the person's capable of, what they can do, and what they have done that they otherwise might not know about that would set them up to do bigger and better things within their chosen job. So it's really good. I've got something I've written down to it. Yeah, it was quite easy to use as well. I liked the sort of the stages along the top, so you could easily keep track of where you were. You wouldn't feel like you were confused or out of your depth using it. It was very, very nicely ordered, and it was quite good. And to be honest, I think for me as a person, if I were to use this tool, which I might do, in fact, if I go for a job, maybe get a part-time job if I'm going to college or something similar like that, I think it definitely makes me happier in myself, knowing that if I were to look at going for a job with a particular employer, they'd have that extra information about me to maybe make it easier for them to see what I'd be best suited to do if I'd be suited to the job. Because I mean, it would be really helpful for me because I'd be more confident going in knowing that they had an idea of who I was as a person. So yeah.